Bitcoin is about to rally higher. As Bitcoin goes higher, a lot of people are going to have ideology issues. They will look at Bitcoin running on daily, weekly, and monthly and then say alts are going to slow down. Now, when Bitcoin take off from this 50 resistance towards $65,000, what would really happen for altcoins? Because here on a 3-day chart, Bitcoin is breaking above that bull flag. The RSI is showing it broke above, retested, and is bouncing. On a weekly, it shows you that we are getting solid candles to the upside, but the momentum is reducing. Each time we go higher, if you are looking at the length of these candles, it's reducing, right? But now you got a break to the upside on the RSI on a weekly. You got a cross to the upside on the MACD, and the MACD volume just turned up. Now that shows you that it can continue higher. But on the BTC dominance on a weekly, you get this one. We are trending to the downside. We broke to the downside and you had long shaved candle, right? So you now just went below there. Now you may consolidate a little bit and then go down in BTC dominance. So considering both of this, if BTC is going through this, which we were anticipating 50k resistance, and now we are at that range, now we are slowing down a little bit, but it still shows it can go higher in next 3 months. So now when we are looking at BTC dominance and then jumping on to altcoin market cap on a 3-day chart, this is what we see. RSI broke higher, MACD is in the positive territory, we are trending higher, the volume itself is increasing, and we are breaking through the upside from a flag. Now, if we step back, take say a weekly chart, we are just there to cross to the upside on the MACD in the positive territory. We are not in the negative territory and crossing upside, waiting for it to reach the positive territory to get momentum. We are in the positive territory crossing upside. So as we cross and get a little bit of attention, we are going to pump higher. So if you compare this, both of them are showing that the market is going to go higher. So if you are near $2 trillion market cap, then we are going to continue higher for much more volume. Because when people say 8 trillion, $10 trillion are not going to come, you should be looking at the market a couple of times and say that. If you remember last time we had this, we plotted this resistance, we plotted this standard deviation to the upside and said we're going to bounce from here. I don't know how many of you watched that, but now we're bouncing. So as we bounce, we do have to look at many other scenarios if you are a short-term trader or if you care too much about the short term, right? On a short term, the MACD is crossing to the downside, RSI is trending to the downside, price is at the moving average. So if you bounce from the moving average, that's great. If not, you're going to come down, and that can be somewhere around 1.11 or the recent low of 1.05. Now, we talked about that previously, right? So when you jump back into the charts for XRP on a daily, this is what you see. Look at the price. What is it showing? Look at the RSI and MACD. How is it reflecting? It definitely shows you that we are above a trend line in the RSI, but now that's on a daily. If we are going to bounce from there, that's going to be a move towards the resistance. Now, it's better to take a step back and look at this. It shows you clear signs that we are heading higher. We are bouncing. It clearly shows you that we are going to continue higher on a monthly. That shows you a target towards $20, which is great. Most of us have an average way lower, so you're going to get at least 20 if your average is $1 and 100 if your average is 0.2, right? So most of us are somewhere close to the bottom. Now that's 100x for you, and if you were moving in between different assets, now you got a ton of stuff. Why? Because this is what we are looking at in the short term. Now you can plan accordingly with your portfolio. If you have a lot of assets, you are now literally looking for different opportunities. You go into an asset that multiplies your profit, then you take that profit and come to XRP. You now have more XRP. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family. where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So as we've been talking, market is moving in that direction. And when you have a lot of different assets and different targets, and when you're nearing those targets, hitting those targets, what you really want to do is take profits. That's why in our Patreon group, we kind of give you that idea of what asset is good for next 3 months and which of them are going to do well in next 6 months, and the ROI which you can anticipate from them, where you can enter or you can exit. Like your entry and the target is the most important step. If you see a breakout, that's great. If you see a target and you still have 3 to 5x, that's again great, right? So now when you come onto the real-time chart of XRP, let's stick with the daily chart at least to understand what we are doing here. So now, for those who just look at this particular area saying we are going to go down, need to just zoom out, because as we zoom out, we see a lot of different stuff. One of which, if you zoom in, is this one. Okay, you're going to have a pattern and you broke above, you're bouncing. So that gives you a percentage, which is 100. Now fine. So that's about $2. Now, short-term chart giving you this one, and as you zoom out on a 3-day, giving the medium scenario, like, okay, you are going to go somewhere near $6, $8 mark, and the same on a monthly, showing you it can be up to 20 is different, right? Here, the macro wave is showing you $20 and a micro wave is showing you different structure. Now, it is really important to understand the wave structure itself. Previously, we have talked accordingly, saying we would have resistance around 0.9, then 1.05. Now we had those resistance, we broke above that, and then we came back below. We are testing that, and now we are going to bounce. Now, yeah, I know the drawing is actually upside down, so most of them would have confusions. So for you, you should be considering like this. Then you slow down. So this was the 1.05 area where you broke above, then you came back down. Now we are doing this. So when the price is coming back to retest and this support is still holding, now you are anticipating a bounce. Now in between, you're going to get flags and then break to the upside. You're going to get the flags either in this manner, or the price would go slowly up and create a rounded bottom pattern, right? These are usually what happens in the crypto market. So now, as we just discussed, you really have to keep your eye on this. Say 3-day chart is showing you the pattern moving towards $6 to $9. Great. Now, what's your macro chart showing you? Say a monthly is showing you that the price is going to go exponential, where we moved a couple of times like this, and this move can be $18 to $20. Now that's huge considering this one. Now, what is the difference between these? One is a 3-day chart. Now if you go to a daily chart, you're going to get a different target. But yes, what is the real difference and how you can understand this is so important as you go higher, because this wave you don't want to miss taking profit. So say we are going to continue higher. Great, you had wave 1, this is wave 2, wave 3. Now this is what we are talking about now. Wave 2. Now in this wave 2, what are we focusing on? Because we right now need to take our profits. We say taking profits is so important. Now why is it? Because inside this, when you understand that you have 3 waves, in which again the wave 2 is going to be the biggest wave, where your ROI would be the maximum. Again, here in this scenario, you have this wave 2, whereas you have wave 1 here and wave 3 with a little bit of less ROI. But understand this, if you are going towards $6 to $9 here and then $10 to $13, $14 there, and then drop back and then go towards 18 to 22, that's what the macro scenario is showing you. The medium term scenario is showing you somewhere here, right? So it shows you the immediate wave structure, the immediate next impulse to the upside. Then you're going to correct down and then you are going to have another impulse. So this is what you are looking at in different charts, different time frames. So if you are talking about a monthly chart, if you're talking about a 3-day chart and a daily chart, don't get confused. These are the scenarios happening in technical. Now, as you look at this, you do have to understand we broke above that. Now this level is acting as a support. Now what are we anticipating like it can do? Now there are a couple of scenarios which price usually does. Say for example, it actually creates a candle like this. Great. Now that's fine. Then afterwards you're going to get a bearish candle or a corrective candle because the price just did really great. It's going to show you this. Now with this, if the next candle, now these are a couple of probabilities we are looking at. There is a probability the next candle would be like this. Now if that is the case, that means you are getting a continuation pattern. The trend is to the upside and the trend is going to continue. That's one, that's single coin continuation pattern. But you do have other possibilities where it can be tempting, it can be a little bit more tempting. Say you get one red candle, right? You get another red candle, then you go up, or you get another one and then you go. So it's like 4 candle reversal, but the variation of these are like you get one here, then you get another, and you get another here. After which you're going to get an engulfing candle erasing all these. So it come back at least till the top of this one. Say this is the roof here. So you come above this one, break above that and close. That's an engulfing candle showing you we are going to again continue the same trend moving to the upside. So your impulse was to this side. You had a little bit of correction to the downside, then you're breaking higher. That's what we want in the chart, and that's what we are looking at. Now, if you're interested in learning technicals, you can look at different books which actually gives you that idea. And once you get this, you are now prepared to take your trade to the next level. You are now prepared for the real profits because you know where you should be taking profits, right? If not, you would be stuck in that without taking profits. Now, look at the market directly. It shows you a lot of positive news and the price is not reflecting that. Before which we had a little bit of positive news and profits were skyrocketing. Now you look at different coins. Say you have Cardano. Now go to Cardano and look at Cardano and what it's showing you. It's kind of really showing you it did 100x from the bottom. So those who maintained this asset from the bottom already have 100x. Now, why am I saying this now? Because in the market, you have a lot of opportunity. We look to buy low, sell high, and you have some assets which have done 1000x. You have some which have done 100x. Now, general study here shows you that this asset has bottomed in an area where it created a strong support for itself and it just broke above. Now, as it's breaking, first it went higher. Up. Now, that's my mistake. Okay, first it breaks higher, it go till that resistance, test that one, gets a little bit of resistance, slowed down, and then it breaks to the upside. Now that's a clear breakout because you just went above the previous price fluctuation and you are making a flag pattern there. Now that's on a daily. Now you step back 3 day, step by step, slowly. So you guys are getting this easily. You break out, you're continuing higher, trend is still to the upside. You had a pattern which you broke to the upside, you connect the two tops and you broke above. That's all clear. Now you're stepping back to a weekly to understand whether we are going to continue a long way or we are going to get a resistance. So you kind of plot this here and you see right now we are at another breakout on a weekly. MACD just crossed to the upside. That shows the bullishness. It's adding on to the bullishness which we already had and it's moving. Now this is how we step back in different assets to understand how the market is going to react, right? So XRP is showing that it's just gonna cross to the upside. It's crossing right now as we speak, and mostly people would be anticipating to buy there and they just missed just before it. And during the cross, it's not doing anything. After the cross, it's bouncing. That's what we have always seen in the charts. So follow the charts, follow the money. So when you are following the money, you can do comparison in between this asset to the next level, right? You can literally take this asset and consolidate it into a lot of different stages. Say, okay, you just take the price action. We have done this previously. Now what we want to understand is people now ask how long can this continue, or how long should I wait? Now, one of the primary question for you would be, okay, fine, if we are in a bull market, last time we did this rally up to 300, 310, 315 days. Now, keep that in mind and say that was the burst through in which you got like 3 waves in the wave structure for wave 2, then a huge bounce, epic bounce, blow off the top in wave 3. Before that, you kind of consolidated with a little bit of highs and lows. You never got a rally there, right? But here in wave 1 itself, you're getting this. So how high can wave 2 go is something rational. We have to actually think rationally, say, okay, minimum we are looking at 20, 25, $30 to the max. And if it get extended to 35, we don't know that. Now, in that aspect, you should strategize a profit taking scenario where you're not missing out even if it's getting extended to 30, 35, right? We are prepared. We know that the wave structure shows us 18 to 22, 24, but the market, the fundamentals can come in and push this high, right? So what are we really looking at? Say the bottom here after the rally was this. Then to the next top, it took 1,281 days. So let's kind of put that into a perspective. If we take that and extend it from our bottom to 1,281 days, that comes somewhere close to September 2023. That's interesting. Now, when you actually take this one and then plot your top to the top, you get 1,500 days, somewhere close to that. Now you take your last top and extend this, go towards 1,500 days. So where do you come? You come towards March 2022. That's way short. Now you have 2 time span. One is early next year, next one is another year ahead. Fine. So what are you eyeing at? So that's your first stop to the next all-time highs. So again, if you're confused, I can remove this and show you this. First stop to the next level, you are creating this much. Second top to the next one, the second impulse to the next one, you are creating this. So now you can look at this in an area like, okay, fine. So if this was my all-time highs, what I'm anticipating is early next year, somewhere close to that, right? Great. Now, what are the difference between these? How long can you consider like it's increasing? Say from this top to this bottom, the bottom of the cycle, that's the deviation day, 231 days. Now you take this one here from the top to the bottom, it's taking 800 days. So there is a difference. So that's why we always have to understand the pattern formation in this price action. So when we are looking at this, we now understood, okay, fine. It took 800 days. Now, what's another difference? This is the bottom in the last cycle, and you topped out the next wave in just 180 days. That's like to the bottom, you took like 231 days, and the next top came in 180 days. Now, take that into perspective. You got 800 days to the downside, and then you are anticipated to do a wave completely before that 800 days. Now, we have already done that in 400 days. So now that's coming in. Now the difference here is from that level to the start of the next bull market, you had like 800 days. So in general, just to keep an eye and understand this, from the top to the start of next bull market, you only had 1,200 days. Now take that into perspective. You do like this and you come towards 1,200 days and you are just getting started. This is what I just pointed out, meaning wave 1 is just getting started and we have already done 16x. Now once we get started, say we started a little bit early, so we started our run up here after the break of the consolidation pattern. Now what we need to understand is we need to plot the 1,200 days, which again is getting shortened. When other assets are getting a lot more extended, XRP, the asset, is not doing something similar. It can be based on the fundamentals, or it should be based on the fundamentals. You broke higher, you started your bull market there, so now you're counting that from here. Great. Now there is a little bit of divergence here too. When you are taking that 1200 days to plot it, you get somewhere close towards November 2023, which is again a lot more to go. But considering we have already done this just at the bull market, so now the bull market was like 315 days. So you now extend that for your bull market and you reach kind of end of this year. But the problem is, last year you never got, or last cycle you never got wave 1 as a rally to the upside. It was consolidating. So this time you can neglect in one aspect, where you're neglecting the wave 1 and then extending it for 315 days, and you reach again 2022, early 2022. So this all ties up with our previous time series analysis, showing you one stuff, which is a clear thing to see. Meaning, when you look at the market cycle, you kind of understand that the market always go up, great, but after that it tops out, then it starts going down. So when it goes down, you can literally take 3 to 4 years, say 4 years to come above, and your bull market is kind of 2 years to 2.5 years. Great. Now for us, we have already started this move, which is breaking above the consolidation range and doing the wave 1. We did that. Great. Now we are waiting for the wave 2 break off the all-time high and going way beyond that. Now we do have like 1 to 1.5 years in the bull market left before we actually go into another bear market. So keep that into mind. You now have November to Jan for your wave 2, after which you are going to go 8 to 10 months, say 12 months of consolidation. Now add that up, you're almost done with 2022. Most of the gains is going to come in wave 2, if that is according to what we have planned or calculated. It's like November to Jan, then you're going to go into a long consolidation. Now all of those ties in, or at least all of those are in line with all the different type of analysis we have done. So prepare to take profits. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to get profits like this and the updates for a lot of assets in your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, again, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.